welcome to the People's Lawyer channel, where today we're looking at combating police tyranny, part 3, and in particular, arrest and legal entrapment. Assuming that you are a man or woman that have not committed a crime, you cannot be lawfully arrested. No policeman or woman has authority over a peaceful, innocent man or woman. However, the corporate policy enforcement agents that you and I know as police officers have an agenda. They need you to comply with that agenda by giving them a name so that they can process a charge, a summons, or a notice against the person over whom they actually do have authority. We're going to ask 2 questions. What is the problem with answering to your full legal name? And question 2, what is the problem with saying that the legal name is yours? Now, if you do not know the answer to these questions, then please stop watching this video right now and go to our other video, which is called Disclosure 2021, in particular parts 2A and parts 2B. For those who have watched Disclosure 2021, then we will give you the answer to question 1, which is you and the full legal name are not one and the same person. So just to repeat, the problem with answering to your full legal name, when they say, what's your name? And you give them an answer, which is the kind of answer that you give to your teacher at school, you and that full legal name, that legal name person are not one and the same. You're 2 different entities. You are a man or you are a woman, and the legal person is a name on a computer or piece of paper linked to a numerical identifier, which is your birth certificate, bond number, and national insurance number. In the United States, your social security number. You were born on a given day, while a few weeks later, the other entity, the artificial one, was birthed, B-I-R-T-H-D, or birthed, B-E-R-T-H-E-D, into the corporate system as a vessel on your date of birth. Saying that you are one and the same is therefore identity theft on your part. And if you look at your extract birth certificate, you will see that it says that it is not evidence of identity. Equally, saying that the name is yours is breach of Crown copyright, as the government created it, therefore the government owns it. When asked by a policy enforcement agent, aka police officer, to give your name, they are inciting you to commit the criminal offence of identity theft, which is an offence under Section 2 of the Fraud Act 2006 and the civil offence of breach of Crown copyright. If they were acting lawfully, they would simply let you pass in peace, or if necessary, simply ask, who are you? The attempt to cause you to commit offences is known as legal entrapment and provides a defence at law for any alleged wrongdoing on your part. The trap would be allowing them the opportunity to pursue their harassment and either arrest you or send you paperwork, or both. But we can use legal entrapment as a shield when we are asked to identify ourselves. This is where the legal entrapment card comes in. The legal entrapment card is freely available at talks, live in-person talks that the People's Lawyer carries out all over the country. It's also available as a virtual card online for a free download via the website, thepeopleslawyuk.com. And it's available in bulk. If you are a member or a leader of a group, you can apply for a group or a bulk mail shot of the cards, and they come with the personal protection card as well. The personal protection card is also available online, and it will be the subject of perhaps another video. But today we're just focused on the legal entrapment card. You'll see on the legal entrapment card that it just says legal notice. When you're challenged by a police officer to give your name, the key here is to take your card out of your wallet or pocket and simply physically hand it to the officer while remaining silent. So I'll just take this card out now and demonstrate what I would do. They may assume that it is a calling card. It is in fact a warning. Let's read it out now. So this is the warning. It says, asking a man or woman to lay claim to a legal person's name is legal entrapment, unlawful and a crime. By accepting delivery of this legal notice, you agree to our fee schedule notice set out over leave. So that's the wording of the main part of the legal notice. It's also in effect an offer to contract. Once they have physically taken delivery, at law, this means that they have received it, which means that they accept your offer. If they accept it, then they accept your notices written on the card. It's a form of contract with them in commerce. They have not declined your offer. They have taken your offer physically, which means they've accepted it. They've also accepted it in equity, which regards as done that which ought to have been done. In other words, no one has signed anything, but equity says we have an exchange of offer and acceptance, and that is treated as an equitable agreement. The terms of the agreement or the contract in commerce are set out on the fee schedule notice on the back of the entrapment notice. If they read it and decide to throw it back at you or onto the ground, it's too late. Acceptance cannot be undone. It would help, of course, to have been filmed. This process needs to have been filled by a friend as you hand over the card. So really, if things get very fraught in a full-on lockdown, or they stiffen or harden the anti-protest laws, and remember, we don't protest, we simply rally on the streets to demonstrate what we think of their laws. If the laws are now hardened, then we will need to be traveling in groups of at least 2 or 3 so that we can protect ourselves using this technology. For firm evidence, we really always need to have filmed what has taken place. If you have filmed the transaction, the handing over of the card, you now have solid evidence that your fee schedule is operational. Now let's look at the fee schedule itself. It says 1, unlawful kidnapping is the sum of £20,000. So these are the terms and conditions. Unlawful detention or false imprisonment, the sum of £3,000 per hour or part thereof. Number 3, unlawful confiscation of personal property or conveyance, £1,000 per day or part thereof of lost possession. Number 4, taking fingerprints unlawfully against our will is £10,000. Number 5, distress and mental anguish, £10,000. All the amounts above are pounds sterling. So these are the terms and conditions of the offer that has been accepted. If the officer then goes on to do any of the things set out in your fee schedule notice, they then render themselves personally accountable and liable for the amount set out in the fee schedule. You can remind them of this by reading out from the personal protection card. It has a personal accountability written on it, and we'll look at that in a separate video. This should then put them off harassing you further. There are no guarantees. If it doesn't, and you are arrested, then your options are the following. Your first option is to remain silent. Do not give them a name. They will have to release you after a period of time. If you're not a person of interest, that period of time should just be a nominal 2 or 3 or 4 hours. If you're a person of interest, or for some reason they are clamping down on protest, you may spend up to 23 hours in a police cell, which is absolutely unpleasant. But if you are prepared to do that, they must release you. They don't have a name. Without a name, they cannot process the paperwork. If you do not fancy a stint in a police cell, and who can blame you, then what you can do is give them a name under duress. It's not your name, it's the person's name. Give them the person's name. It's not your address, give them the person's address. It's not your date of birth, give them the person's date of birth. And always reserving all unalienable rights and under duress. You may or may not get paperwork in the post. It depends on what their agenda was on that particular day, but at least you've gone free. What to do with any summons or notice you get through the post, just as with the personal protection card that we will go through on another video, that will be the subject of a separate video. So remember, this is an info war. This is a nutritional war. It's a psychological operation. The best thing that we can do is to stand up for ourselves. And the more that we stand up for ourselves, the more empowered we are when we do it, the more that we can convince those who have been set on us and those who are dithering in their non-compliance. They're complying because they think it's safe. It's just safer to do that. The more that we can convince the unconscious masses that what we are doing and what we stand for is the right thing to do and the right thing to stand for. Whether or not it will wake them up is another matter, but at least it gives us a fighting chance and it sows some seeds. This is, after all, a PR exercise, and we have to remain cool, calm, and collected, and in full possession of our rational faculties. We hope that's helped, and we look forward to seeing you very shortly on another video. Remember to like and subscribe on YouTube, to subscribe on our channel. The YouTube channel is The People's Lawyer UK. The website is thepeopleslawyeruk.com. We also have a Telegram channel, The People's Lawyer. Thank you very much for watching. Bye for now.